The annual intergalactic festival had arrived on the floating city of Jiris, a massive metropolis suspended above a violet gas giant. Creatures from 100 worlds had gathered for the spectacle, vendors selling exotic delicacies, musicians from multiple galaxies performing impossible symphonies, and contests ranging from strength to skill to cunning. For most, it was a time of laughter and celebration, but for a small albino dwarf dragon named Kale, it had become a nightmare. Kale was tiny, barely larger than a human toddler, with pearly white scales that shimmered faintly in the neon lights. He had always been an outcast among the dragons, not just because of his size, but because of his unusual color. Where other dragons glistened with emerald, ruby, or obsidian scales, Kale was different. His pale appearance made him an easy target for ridicule. That afternoon, Kale had wandered into the rowdy ale pit, a section of the festival where aliens and dragons competed in drinking games and rowdy challenges. Most creatures avoided the dwarf dragons. They were considered weak. But Kale, curious and adventurous, had hoped to watch from a safe distance. It didn't take long for trouble to find him. A group of brutish alien spectators, green-skinned, three-eyed brutes, noticed Kale peeking from behind a barrel. "Hey, albino runt. What's with the tiny scales?" One of them sneered, its three eyes gleaming with malice. Before Kale could respond, the aliens grabbed mugs of luminescent beer and flung them at him. The sticky, glowing liquid splattered across his scales, burning slightly with a fizzing sensation. Kale yelped, trying to shake it off, but the crowd roared in laughter. His wings flapped uselessly as he stumbled back, humiliated and hurt. And then a voice rang out, sharp and commanding, "Hey, leave him alone." Kale froze and turned toward the sound. Standing at the edge of the crowd was a human girl for her age, with cropped brown hair and piercing green eyes that glinted like a soldier's. Her stance was rigid but confident, every movement precise and purposeful. Around her waist hung a small utility belt filled with gadgets, a remnant of her life training under her father, a decorated human veteran renowned across the galaxy for his heroics. "I said, leave him alone," she repeated, stepping forward. The aliens glanced at each other, snickering. "And who are you supposed to be? Some kind of babysitter?" one growled. "I'm the reason you'll regret this," the girl said calmly. She pulled a small, humming device from her belt and activated it. Instantly, a high-pitched resonance filled the air, causing the alien crowd to clutch their ears and stagger. Their roars turned into confused grunts, and some toppled over as the vibrations interfered with their balance. Kale's eyes widened. He didn't recognize the device, but he recognized courage. "You don't have to do this," he squeaked, his voice trembling. "I know," the girl replied, crouching slightly to meet his gaze. "But no one gets to treat my friends this way." With a few more quick movements, she disabled the remaining alien aggressors. They scrambled away, muttering threats that Kale doubted they would ever fulfill. When the crowd had dispersed, the girl extended her hand. "Are you okay?" she asked. Kale nodded, though his pride hurt more than his scales. I'm fine. Thank you. I'm Kale. Call me Arya," she said with a small smile. "Arya. Merrick, daughter of the one they call Commander Merrick." Kale blinked. Humans were rare in Jiris, and a human with combat skills rare enough to make even seasoned aliens pause was almost unheard of. Yet here she was, smiling gently at a trembling albino dragon. I didn't know humans could," Kale began, but Arya laughed softly. Most don't, but some of us. Well, we like to be prepared. From that moment, an unlikely friendship blossomed. Arya introduced Kale to her small circle of human gadgets and inventions tools that could manipulate gravity, create temporary shields, and even emit concussive pulses. Kale was fascinated, and in turn, he shared with her the secret nooks of Gyrus that only a small dragon could access. Hidden gardens floating above the gas giant, tunnels under the city filled with phosphorescent crystals, and vantage points where the stars shone brighter than anywhere else. Days passed, and the bond between human and dragon grew. Arya taught Kale self-defense, using lightweight training equipment to simulate combat. Kale, quick and clever, picked up techniques faster than any dragon his size should have. And when he shared his fears about being mocked or excluded, Arya reminded him, being different doesn't make you weak. It makes you unpredictable, and unpredictability is power. That lesson was about to be tested during the festival's grand finale. A coalition of alien nobles had arranged a dragon parade, a ceremonial showcase meant to honor strength and beauty. Kale, small and unassuming, was scoffed at when he tried to join. The same aliens who had thrown beer at him the week before pointed and laughed. "Out of the way, runt," one of them yelled. Arya's eyes narrowed. She activated her wrist gadgeter compact drone swarm. The drones whirred around the parade area, creating a dazzling display of light and sound that drew everyone's attention. Then she whispered to Kale, "Now's your moment. Show them who you really are." Kale took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment, and leaped into the parade's center. Using techniques Arya had taught him and the natural agility of his diminutive form, he danced, flipped, and soared through the air with incredible speed. The once laughing aliens now watched in stunned silence as Kale performed impossible maneuvers, weaving between holographic banners and pyrotechnic displays without a single misstep. By the time he landed, the crowd erupted not in mockery, but in awe. Whispers spread, "The tiny albino dragon. He's incredible." Even the aliens who had humiliated him earlier were forced to bow in acknowledgement. Kale's scales glimmered under the festival lights, not just from the luminescent coatings he had used, but from the pride that radiated from him. Arya stepped forward and clapped. "That's my friend," she said proudly. Kale looked at her, gratitude welling in his tiny chest. I couldn't have done it without you." "Don't sell yourself short," Arya said. "I helped set the stage, but you stole the show." From that day on, Kale was no longer just the albino dwarf dragon. He was the dragon who had faced humiliation and turned it into triumph, aided by the unwavering support of a human veteran's daughter. The story of their bond spread across Gyrus, reminding every alien and creature that courage and friendship were more powerful than size, color, or past insults. And Kale, once mocked and overlooked, finally realized something Arya had known all along. Being different wasn't a weakness, it was his greatest strength. Asterisk.